So who's ready to get it started here? So there's 3 people over here. Who's ready to get it started here? Okay, let me ask a question in a different way, because you don't seem to be with me. Who here wants to make 6 figures in the next 6 months? Okay. I want to make sure I was in the right seminar. I thought maybe I was in the wrong room. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today. My name is Fred Foster. Welcome to Rehab 101. Talking to you and teaching you and training you and working alongside with you to make 6 figures in 6 months. Anybody need a little extra money?
Yeah.
All right. Think about it. Now, what would you do with 6 figures in 6 months? Some of you, that might be more than you make. Or quit your job. I like that. Or maybe you just go to work with an attitude. How about that? Would that be cool? What would it be like? Would it be really cool to have like that money that's coming in? Sort of like a person that lives in your home, makes money, pays the bills, but check it out, they don't eat anything. They don't leave the lights on, you know, when you leave, none of that stuff. That's what can happen. It can change your life. Well, listen, we're excited about you being here today. We know a lot of you worked all week. Who shoveled snow this week? Come on, who's with me? 5 hours worth. The rest of you, you're blessed. Okay, because you had to watch somebody else shovel the snow, you know. But some of you are happy you're off work, right?
Yeah.
All right, imagine if you had your own real estate project going on. You couldn't care whether you have to go to work or not. Would that be a pretty good deal?
Yeah. Okay,
well, that's what we're here to do today. We're here to change something. Now, there's another thing. Everybody, just listen to me, because I want you to get this. When I was in college, I used to go to class and sit in the back of the class my first 2 years. My grades weren't very good because I doze off, or I kind of just, you know, fade out, or maybe I just slip out, or maybe not even show up altogether because I could do my thing. And about halfway through college, I realized something, that being in the back was detrimental to me. And by the way, all the people in the back with me were failing too. So my 3rd year, I did something incredible. I came and I sat in the front row of the class, right in front of the instructor. Yeah, people could see me. Yeah, that's your seat right there, man. Go right there. She's already figured this out. I sat in the front of the class with the students getting the A's, and something happened. I started getting A's. I'm saying that for this reason. All of you in the back, and this is a teaching, a training that means something. It will make you money. Everybody in the back, I'm inviting you to come closer to the front for a reason. This is a principle. Because when it gets down to investing, when it gets down to competing, guess what? Competing is other people for the properties you want, the money you need to make. Being in last place means you make no money. So, I'm saying that I'm inviting all of you in the back and looking at me like, this guy's crazy, and you're going to see how crazy I am in a few minutes. All right, but it's going to be worthwhile to come on and move up in the front. So anybody like to move up just a little bit closer to the front? Oh, come on, you know you want to. All right, you're going to miss out on something. Because I don't want to tell you about maybe the $100 bill. It might be under your seat. Might be up front. But that's okay. But here's the thing. You guys came out today. You dealt with the snow, dealt with whatever else you had to deal with today, but you woke up with an expectation this morning. So the first thing I want you to do, please, is go ahead and give yourselves a hand. Give and clap for yourself. That's sort of like, it's Saturday morning, I worked all week and dealt with the snow, and some bald-headed dude told me to clap for myself. As opposed to celebrating yourself and saying, I'm about to make 6 figures in 6 months. That's a pretty good idea. So if you think you might want to make $100,000 in the next 6 months, go ahead and clap for yourselves now. Thank you for that. Now here's the key. What would you do with the money? Someone said they quit their job, but a lot of you came in with a lot of things that you have going on. You have some plans for 2016. It's a new year. It's still January. A lot of things are going on. And one of the things that will happen here, and you got to be careful. You're going to get some good information today. You're going to have an opportunity to do some great things today that can change your life. And it's going to be excellent. Tonight, you're going to go to bed and go, I'm excited. You won't be able to sleep very much. You're going to wake up early tomorrow morning, and you're going to feel really good about what happened. You're going to get ready to get started. But then comes Monday. And on Monday morning, you're going to go to work, whatever your life looks like. You're going to start dealing with all those same people you dealt with on Friday. They either were dream stealers or didn't think something like this would be possible. So what you really want to do is look around the room at the people in this room Because they're like you. They're the dreamers. Are there any more dreamers in the crowd? It's me, right? I mean, really, what you want to do. So I want you to do me a favor. So everybody, please just take everything off of your laps. And stand up for me. Stand up for me. That's it. Because we got too many frowns in this room. And what I would like each of you to do is find someone in the room you do not know and walk over to them. Again, walk across the room, go find someone you do not know. Right? You've got to go across the room. One person. Everybody, one person. Now, all right, now hold on. Stay with me. Everybody is standing in front of one person they've never met before. Is anybody standing next to someone they already know? If you are, okay, now, I want you to turn and face each other. Look at each other. Now, let's move out the way. Let's get out the aisles. And here's the thing. Of the two of you, one of you is awesome. So determine which of the two of you is awesome. Yeah. Who's awesome? All right? Okay. All right, now, this is important. Awesome, of the two of you, one of you is awesome, raise your hand. Awesome, now, no. One of you is awesome. One of you, make a choice. One of you, and not here. Awesome's not down here. Awesome's up here. All right, now. The rest of you look at me like, I'm awesome too. All right? But that's okay. Awesome. Oh, you look at your partner and go, you're amazing. You're amazing. Now, this is important. Awesome, you're going to go first. You're going to look right at amazing in his or her eyes. And for 60 seconds, you're going to tell them what you're going to do with the extra $100,000 you're going to make after the next 6 months. And I don't want you to half-step on me, because some of you will go buy the Gucci bag. Some of you will go, some of you do whatever, you'll go on a vacation. Some of you will just stock it away and go make another 100. I don't know what it might be, but I want you to dream and dream big. I'm talking about, when you're in the shower and nobody's around and just singing and you think you're, whoever you might be, or whatever, or you're preaching your own sermon to yourself in your bedroom when nobody's around. I see you guys at the red light, all excited about stuff. I want you awesome with energy. Everybody say energy. Now that's energy. Energy. With energy, awesome, I want you to look amazing right in their eye. And I want you to share everything for the next 60 seconds. Think big, all the dreams you might have. Now, here's the other thing. Amazing. You have a responsibility. Hey, hold on now. Let's go. Oh, it's okay. No. Listen now. I want you to get this. Because amazing, you have something as well. Your job is, you're not going to say one word. But with your gestures, with your hands, with your body, you're going to try to encourage Awesome to even give more information they're giving. If they're not excited enough, amazing, you get excited without your words. You stand on the chair, run around, whatever you got to do. But the idea is you want Awesome to feel so awesome up the next 60 seconds that they will be awesome every single day the rest of their life starting today. So, Awesome, are you ready? Okay, let's try that again. Awesome, are you ready? Now, amazing, are you ready? Okay, Awesome, right now, go. Give it to me all of it. Come on. Everything. What would you buy? Where would you go? Who would you talk to? Where would you live? be like? What would your attitude be like? How might things change if you woke up every single morning like that? Would that make a difference for some of you? Yeah. You know, as opposed to hitting snooze and give 9 more minutes. Right? What if you got up in the morning and you went to the mirror and you looked at yourself in the eye and you told yourself, I am awesome. Or better yet, you are awesome. You are amazing. And you told yourself every great and wonderful thing about yourself. I am a great parent. I am a great spouse. I'm good at what I do. Whatever, I'm just good looking. Whatever it might be. And I have lots of money. Not will, have lots of money. And I can do whatever I want to do. I can vacation where I want to. I can send my children to the best schools. I can take my grandchildren anywhere I want to get to. I don't have grandchildren yet, speak it. The idea is that that's what you really want. That's what you really hope for. Yet, our jobs and other things we do won't necessarily get us there. But right now, doing what we're about to learn today, 2 amazing teachers are going to teach, can change that. What I want you to do, some of you are going to have some doubt. Some of you are going to go and look at them and go, these 2 beautiful ladies, they got it together. They're going to show you big checks they made, all kinds of stuff. But here, everybody put one finger in the air and push it down and go, pause. They're wonderful, they're amazing, they're awesome, they're all that stuff. But they're jacked up too somewhere. Yet despite that, they found out how to make 6 figures in 6 months and a lot more. So if they're jacked up and they could do it, hey, well, hello, we're jacked up, right? Or is it just me? We're jacked up. We can do it too. I want you to get that. A lot of you came for a real estate seminar, and it's going to be that. But information is just information, unless you do something with it. So it's about time to do something with that. So ladies and gentlemen, let's just stand your feet one more time. I want to introduce you to 2 great friends of mine. Miss Kelly Campbell and Miss Cecilia Bell aren't just beautiful, aren't just rich, wealthy, and all the other things that you add on top of that, but they care a great deal about people. You're going to hear their stories, and hear why they do what they do beyond money. But you're also going to get the practical stuff, you know, the hammer and nail stuff, and the money stuff, and all the things that you have going on. So do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, stand on your feet for me. One more time. And I want, listen, some of you on Sunday are going to root for the Panthers or the Broncos. You know, but listen, Cam Newton will not send you a check. All right? However, Cecilia Bell can. She can say, I didn't keep up for herself. And Kelly Campbell can. So if you watching this, you know, you got your whatever, your pizza, you watching Cam. Well, Cam's not going to help you. But these people will. So ladies and gentlemen, give me the best applause you possibly can.
And my first deal, no lie, no pad, no fluff, $175,000. That's what I said, guys. And it's a big deal because guess what? It could be your story too. If you want it. How bad do you want it? How much work are you willing to put in to get it? Because I tell my daughter, freedom ain't free, but it's available. Say it with me.
Freedom ain't free, but it's available.
So while you go work on that job every day, you're 9 to 5, keep saying freedom ain't free, it's available. Because that means you're going to get an opportunity to leave too one day. Because that's what happened for me. So without further ado, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about it later. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce my business partner who I've met in the class just like this. My friend, my ride or die. And somebody got this game on lock. Kelly Campbell.
Thank you, babe. So how many of you have flipped a house before? How many of you have been thinking that this is something you want to do, but you need to know a little bit more about it before you get started? Okay, so I just wanted to take a poll of the room. So as she said, my name is Kelly Campbell, and I've been a real estate investor since 2004. And I really got started in this business after reading a book that inspired me. How many of you have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? How many of you after reading that book felt hoodwinked and bamboozled? I know I did. My parents raised me to go to school. You say it with me, I know you know it.
Go to school.
And go to get good grades.
Get a good education.
Go to college. So I could get a good job. So I graduated from school, I got my first job. And I was like, how exactly do I get wealthy? When does that happen? And I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it inspired me because I realized that I needed to do more. My full-time job was not going to lead me down the road to financial freedom, and if that's what I wanted, then I needed 1, a business, and 2, investments. Now, I was 24 at the time I came to this conclusion, and I was looking at all the different ways you can invest in real estate, buy and hold, apartments, buildings, speculation, but rehabbing made a lot of sense to me. Find a house, cheap, fix it up, or find somebody to fix it up and sell it for a lot more. It was simple. I got that. I can do that. Talk to me, Chris. And so when Cecilia and I connected in our real estate class, we both happened to be signed up for the same real estate class. It was a 4-week class, 1 session a week. We paid $1,000. And we walked away with a great friendship. We were accountability partners, but that was about it. We didn't necessarily walk out of that room knowing what we needed to do to really get started, to really do our first deal. You will know what to do when you leave today in this free intro. You will at least know some of the steps to take to get started. You won't have the whole picture, but you can at least get started in your real estate investing business before you leave here. And I'm very passionate about that because of what happened to us. And so we had to kind of trip and fall and scrape our knees, and scraping your knees in real estate is very expensive. And so we're going to talk to you about that, some of the things we learned, and we're going to talk to you in depth about the rehabbing process. But before we get started in this business, or any business for that matter, the first thing that we have to do, one more time, Chris, is we've got to get our minds right. Now, I want to start off by setting some expectations for the class today. We are not gutting houses down to the studs today, okay? That's not 101.
Uh-oh.
All right? We are going to be talking about minimally invasive, primarily cosmetic rehabs that are great for first-timers. To do your first deal, this is the kind of deal you want to look for. So we're going to talk to you about things like renovating basements, finishing a basement if it's not finished, remodeling bathrooms, adding a bathroom. We're going to talk to you about things like curb appeal. Talk to me, Chris. Curb appeal. Curb appeal. Curb appeal. One more time. Curb appeal.
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal is huge. If they don't like the outside, they're not coming inside. Okay? And so one of the things we're going to talk about today is how you market these properties for sale. Nowadays, people shop for real estate how? Online. So your marketing is what's bringing them to the door. You got to get them to the house in order for them to buy it. Okay? So curb appeal is huge. So we added a bathroom here. We're also going to talk to you about, one more time, remodeling kitchens. This is your moneymaker. The kitchens and the bathrooms.
Yeah.
That is where your money is made. So those are the kinds of deals that we're going to talk about today in 101. So the class is entitled Buy It, Fix It, Sell It. So we're going to cover all 3 topics as quickly as we can because we have a limited amount of time to cram all this information into your heads. Tap for one more time. But before we get started, it's really important that we start off in the right place when it comes to our mindset. Your ability to be successful in this business is directly proportionate to what you believe is possible.
Yeah, so that means, what does that mean? Your mindset.
Yeah.
You have to be always thinking about what's your big why. I think as we go older, our goals change and our whys change too. Like right now, my why is retirement. Freedom was my why, 10 years ago when I left my job. But now it's about the freedom, the retirement, the legacy, and multiple streams of income is the way, but also only having to answer to God. If I don't want to work with a client, guess what? Buy next. They don't want to work with me, guess what? Buy next. But at the end of the day, it really is about your mindset and how you make that happen for yourself. So I've done a lot in this real estate game, guys, but I want you to stand up because I got to share this story with you because I'm gonna take you somewhere. I'm going to take you on a cruise that you ain't got to pay for, right? Okay, so come on, act like you want it. I'm in the back. Come on, fellas. Mr. Earl, thank you. I see you there, bro. Okay, so guys, here we go. I want you to close your eyes, okay? And think about it. Close your eyes. Don't cheat, people, okay? Close your eyes. And I want you to think about where you are right now. Where you work, what you do when you get off from work, what you do when you drive in from work, how your bank account looks, how your annuities look, what kind of car you drive, all this stuff. And also think about what you want for yourself. So for those of us that are over 40, take yourself 10 years out. For those of us that are over 45, take your years 10 years out. And then for the younger people, the millennium as they say, just add 20 onto it. So close your eyes, don't cheat, we're not there yet. Okay, so right now, I want you to make an about face. Those of you in the military, you know what an about face is. Turn around and go the opposite direction. I'm going to take you into your future. Okay, turn around, come on, close your eyes. And I want you to think about what you do, all the things I said. How much you got in your bank account, where you work, where you live, what, and then big piece, what do you want for yourself? What do you want for yourself? So I met this lady, her name was Miss Pratt. She was retired. So when you retire, sometimes you're 65, 67, whatever, let's say 65. And she had worked all her life as a school teacher. All her life, every day, all day, and overtime. When she got ready to retire, she wanted to buy a house. She wanted to buy a house now, and she needed to have an income. Stay, keep your eyes closed, because I'm walking down here. She needed to have an income in order to buy the house. Okay? Now, she didn't have enough money not only to buy the house, she didn't have enough money to live for the rest of her life. She had to go back to work and work at Walmart as a greeter. Now she's 65 years old plus. Think about it, guys. I don't know how old you are, but think about it. She's 65 plus. She's got to go back to work. She doesn't have enough money. She's really tired, and I'm gonna say she's old. All right. Then she tells me, I say to her, if you had to do anything over, Miss Pratt, what would you do? She says, Cecilia, I would have saved differently. I would have paid off debt. She says, Cecilia, guys, I want you to listen to this really close. She told me that the money ran out before she died. Boom. Boom. That means she doesn't have enough. She's got to go back to work. Her lifestyle had already changed, but now it's a big deal. So before I take you back, because the cruise is here, the big piece, the thing I want you to take away with you is the money ran out before she died. Her mortgage wasn't paid off. She still had medical, had life, all the stuff that we had to do for life, but the money wasn't there. And that's why this right here piece for me, 6 figures in 6 months, was a big deal because it changed my life forever. So now, as you open your eyes, I'm right here with you. Hello. All right? I want you to think about yourself. You ain't got to tell amazing and grateful and all those people Fred told y'all to talk about. Think about your life, your bank account, your health, your family, your legacy. Do you live from paycheck to paycheck? And if you do, this is for you. Turn it around, people. Let's go.
Okay, let's get started. So what are we going to cover today? We are going to talk about where to get the money. We're going to talk about financing. Why is that first? Are there any real estate agents in the room? Real estate agents? It's free marketing. Okay? Real estate agents. Before you put a buyer in your car and drive them all around PG County, what do you do first? Yes, loan approval. You make sure they can buy it or you are wasting your time. Okay? If you find a great deal and you don't have your money in order, a cash investor is going to come behind you and take it right out from underneath you while you're trying to figure it out. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to talk about is where to find the money. We're going to talk a lot today about finding properties and analyzing properties. What do we need to know about repairs? We have a special guest coming to talk to you about that. He's amazing. Cecily's going to talk to you about how to make the offer and contracts, negotiations. And then we're also going to talk about the sell. And the sell is really important because this is where a lot of investors drop the ball. They put all this energy into riding around looking for properties and trying to figure out what contractors they're going to work with. And then they think they can stick a sign in the yard and let the property sell itself. And if you do, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I'm going to show you how much. And I mean tens of thousands. Okay? So, let's get started. For me, go to buy it. So, let's talk about money. There are a lot of ways in which you can find your real estate deal. Probably what is most commonly referred to is hard money. So we're going to talk about what hard money is, and then we're going to talk about some alternatives to hard money because that is not the only way. Next slide. So with hard money, what exactly is that? So for those of you that aren't familiar with hard money, I'm going to explain to you exactly what that is and what it looks like in terms of a deal. Then we're going to go through an actual case study from start to finish and show you what documents are involved and exactly what you need in order to close it. So hard money loans, hard money lenders, these are people that loan based on the property. It says short-term loan based on the value of real estate collateralized. So it's based on the property. They care a lot more about the property than they do about you and credit, so to speak. Now, there was a lending time when credit didn't matter at all to a hard money lender. Nowadays, a lot of them are very interested in credit, and that's just because of some of the things that took place in 2008 and thereon. They're a lot more interested in credit than they used to be, but some of them will still loan based on the property. So, how much will they loan to you? On average, they'll loan you between 60 to 70% of the after repair value, okay? So, the house, when it's all fixed up and beautiful, will be worth $200,000, they're going to loan you 60% of that. 60% of that is $120,000, okay? If you have calculators on your phone, you may want to pull them out because we do math today. And I'm going to need your help because I can only do so much in my head if the numbers aren't round, okay? How much does that money cost you? The average for a hard money lender is 12 to 19% interest. That's a lot of money. I mean, we're talking, that's the juice is on, okay? That's serious interest on that property. And in addition to the interest, on average, they charge you 3 to 7 points. 3 to 7% of what you're borrowing, they want that up front, okay? So we're going to talk about how you deal with that and how you address that and show you some examples. Next slide. Some hard money lenders will have you do monthly payments. Some will collect their monthly payments up front when you close. Why do they do that? They do that because they want you to be invested. They want you to have some skin in the game. They want to protect their own interests, and they want something that's called compound interest. Because when I explain this to you, what you will come to understand is that you're paying interest on money you haven't even received yet. They take all that interest is locked in up front, okay? So hard money, you really want to know what the terms are that are involved. So some want payments up front, some take monthly payments. So these are questions you need to ask if you're investigating whether or not you want to work with someone. How are the funds dispersed? You do not typically get all your money at once, okay? Funds are dispersed in draws. If you're borrowing $50,000 in repairs, he's going to have you start the project with your money and reimburse you a draw. So you might get $25,000 after you do half to a third of the work. Then you get the rest of the money when you're done. Okay, so you see how you're spending money, but you're paying interest on it? Does everybody understand? Wow. See how that comes together? Yeah, it's a great racket. It's awesome. I love it. I want to be a hard money lender. That's my goal in life. I love compound interest. I'm loaning money. I'm charging you interest on money you're spending. Okay? Next slide. So we're going to go through a quick example for hard money. So I strongly advise you go through it with me and go through the motions of doing the calculations. It becomes second nature to you the more that you do it. I'm all about doing it. So you just found a rehab property and your purchase price is $100,000. It needs $50,000 in repairs, okay? And when you sell it, the after repair value, that is the value when it's all beautiful and fixed up, that's the market value for the property. After repair value. The ARV is $230,000. Okay, that's what you can sell it for. Your lender, the fabulous hard money lender, is charging you 5 points, 5% of what you're borrowing from him up front, 5 points up front. And we're guesstimating your closing costs. You know, you have the title company, you have some insurance, you have some things you need to do. We're guesstimating your closing costs at about 6% of the purchase price. So 6% of the $100,000, okay, $6,000. So, the lender says, well, you're new. I'm going to loan you 60% of the after repair value. That's what you get. So, you got your calculators out. 60% of $230,000 is $138,000. How much was your house?
$100,000.
How much were your repairs?
$50,000. Sure.
Thank you, Miss Val. Thank you. You're sure? Okay, next. So, your expenses. You got a purchase price of $100,000. You have repairs of $50,000. Your closing costs were 6%, $6,000. And then he's charging you 5 points, 5% of what he loaned to you, $138,000. 5% of $138,000, $6,900. Okay? So your total funds needed is $162,900. How much were you getting?
$138,000.
So you got to come up with $25,000 on your own. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to come out of your pocket. You can get it from somebody else, a private investor. We're going to talk about that. But that's what you need in order to close. And then you still need to start the job. Remember? You're getting paid in draws. You still need to start the job. So what I want to do here is set your expectations. Because when we got started, we thought the hard money lender was going to pay for everything.
Right.
Okay? So I was like, I found a house. Called the hard money lender? What? I need to come up with $50,000. We thought it was going to be everything. That's what they didn't teach us that in class. So I'm setting your expectation for hard money so you know what to anticipate, so you can be prepared, right? Yeah. Now, we know people that could come up with $25,000. We can. So we'll talk about how we work with that next time. So what will the lender require from you? If you want to do hard money, you know, if you've got some money that you can play around with, you want to do hard money, what they're looking for you is a little information on the property, so you can get that in property record. And they're looking for you to know what the house is worth. They want to know you've done a little research, all right? So comps, or comparable properties, is a way for them to know what the property is worth. What's it selling for in that neighborhood? How do you get those? Real estate agents, hands up. That's how you get them, okay? You want to be working with somebody who can help you get access to these if you don't have access, and that's something that we talk about. So let's go to the next slide, Chris. We're going to do a case study. So, hard money lenders. Serious business, right?
Yes.
A lot of money, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to come up with anything? Wouldn't it be nice if you could rehab a property and not have to take a dime out of your pocket? Yeah, it really would, right? So an alternative to hard money is our personal favorite, private money. Private money. These are individuals and sometimes private companies that will loan to you based on the value of the property, and so that they can earn that 12 to 13% interest. Can you get that in a bank?
Nope.
Okay? You know somebody and they've got a great deal of income. What are they earning in the bank? 2 to 5%? Is that much? How nice is 13%? How much is 50? How nice is 50% of your deal? Okay? That seems like a lot of money, but 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Right? And so we have experience with that. Sister, you want to talk about that?
I do private money. Guys can come from anywhere. Family members, friends, whoever. It's their money. They need to make money off of the money. And it's a big deal because it reduces some of the costs that you have to pay if you go with hard money. We have a colleague, business partner that we work with. His scenario is he pays for the house. That's the acquisition cost. He pays for the rehab cost. And what we do is we manage the project. We are the little generals, as I say. Somebody asked me on the radio yesterday, well, what do you do? I'm watching. I'm watching because it's my job to take care of our private investor because he trusted us. And if we do the right thing by him, guess what? It goes over and over and over. And that's how you build your cash flow and ultimately your wealth. So that's a big deal because he does all the money parts. We watch the project, we list the project, and when it's done, he gets all his money back and he splits 50% with us. That's a big deal. Yeah. And then if you got some 401ks or some self-directed, you can take your money and go do something else, and then you got 2 projects going on at the same time. So we're thinkers here, right? We're thinkers. We money magnets. We want to make a lot of money, we want to build wealth, and we want to sit down somewhere. So you guys think about, as Kelly is talking, who do you know that's got some money? That's sitting there getting what? The little bit from the bank interest?
A little bit from the bank.
So you can get that money working, and guess what? When you finish with that and you give it back, they will love you forever. It's a big deal, guys. 2016, what did I say? Don't forget it. The year of what? Come on now, stay with me. Open doors. What your door look like?
The benefit of private money is that there's a lot less red tape. When I take you through this hard money example and you see all the red tape, with private money, it's 100% negotiable. You can work out the terms of your agreement. Like she said, the 50-50 split with that investor. I have another private investor that I work with that if there's a bridge to be made, like that $25,000 you guys saw in that example, he'll loan on the bridge because he makes money with $25,000 that he has to invest. He doesn't have $250,000, can't really make as much, but he can make a good amount of money on that $25,000. And I only need his $25,000 till I get my first draw. So I'm paying him 10 to 15% on his $25,000, but he gets it back in 4 weeks. Because when I get in that rehab, we're going. I'm getting that first draw in the first month. And then he can have his money back. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Next slide. All right, so then the next way is your money. Tap it a couple times, Chris, the slide's full. There you go, stop here. The last way is your money. So let's talk about that. If you have retirement funds, maybe some of you changed jobs a couple times, you got some retirement funds at another job left someplace else. If you know someone who has retirement funds to invest or cash, do not take your cash and just go buy a house with it. Let's think bigger than that, okay? So, there are 2 ways to go about it. If it's retirement funds that you're working with, your TSP, your 401k, whatever it is, you can roll your retirement funds into what's called a self-directed IRA. This takes your money out of the hands of your financial manager and puts it into your hands to invest. You can go buy gumball machines with it, vending machines. I buy notes in small amounts with mine, or you can use it to buy property. You can invest it in whatever you want when it's self-directed. So you can self-direct your own funds, and people you know can self-direct funds for you. So let's talk about an example. We're going to call her Aunt Myrna, okay? Aunt Myrna's been working for the post office for the last 35 years. And the entire time she has worked there, she has directed 10% of her income into a TSP, into her government retirement account. If she's done that, Aunt Myrna probably has somewhere between $250,000 to $300,000 over that time period. Is $250,000 to $300,000 enough for Aunt Myrna to retire for the rest of her life? No. No, she would be a Miss Pratt. She would not have enough funds to live off of for the rest of her life. Is $200,000 enough for her to buy a small rehab, fix it up and sell it? Yes. So say she did that, and you split the profits with her, and the profits were $40,000 to $50,000. So in 90 days to 6 months, you made Aunt Myrna $25,000. What would happen if you did that for her 10 times over the next 10 years?
She loved you.
You doubled her income, right? Have you done something really awesome for Aunt Myrna?
Yes.
Maybe she could even go off and buy some buy and hold, so she has a little residual income coming in. She can go right up to Baltimore, buy a house for $10,000 and rent it out for $950 a month and collect that money. Okay? Okay? Very true. We talked about that too. Now, say something went wrong, okay? I won't say it out loud, but like a market crash or something like that. Okay, but God only knows how, but something horrible happened, it went wrong, the numbers were off, it was a horrible mistake. Can Aunt Myrna rent that house out for $1,500 a month?
Yes.
Yeah. And collect that income as her residual income, and now she owns property, and she can use that property for collateral to do other things. It was her retirement fund, she's not spending it, she's not doing anything with it anyway. So is it still growing?
Yeah.
And it has value? Have you still done a good thing? Yeah. And we all know, we all know people like this. And right at about the age of 60, 65, they're thinking about, what am I going to do? What are my options? So there are a lot of people looking for you. Someone that will take the time to learn how to do this and help them grow their money. People don't have enough money to retire off of. Our seniors are in trouble. The president and his wife in May of last year did a council on aging and said, if you're going to make a choice, choose the apple over the cookie, because we're not going to have enough money to take care of you in 15 years. Okay? They need to be earning income. So, another way, you got cash, you got an inheritance, you sold a house, you got a lot of cash money. We're not going to take our cash and go buy a house either. Securities-based lending. Securities-based lending allows you to take your cash, invest it with a financial manager, like Merrill Lynch, for example, they do this. They're one example, there are many. And borrow against your money while it's earning money in securities. So you're getting your 2 to 4.5% on your money, then you can borrow against it, and you can borrow from yourself for half of what you would pay a hard money lender. That's right. So your cash is still in the bank, okay? You're borrowing against yourself. So if you have that kind of cash available, leave it with the financial advisor, borrow against it, you can keep that money out for 3 to 10 years. If you make a mistake, just go do another one and correct it, okay? But you can hold on to that money for 3 to 10 years, all right? So with securities-based lending, it's a minimum requirement of $100,000, and if you've got that kind of cash, why not? And again, you can direct it wherever you want it to go. Real estate's what we do, but it leaves you with a lot of options. So that's the money piece. Now, there's another alternative to hard money lending that we're really fond of, because we found that it's a good way for you to get construction loans for your projects, to get more money to borrow than you can get from a hard money lender at a lot lower rate of interest. So I'm going to let him come up and talk to you about this. But we have a special guest in the audience today. His name is Adam Backus. Adam is with Prospect Mortgage, and he's going to talk to you about some other types of renovation loans that you can get access to. Adam, come on up.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Thank you, ladies. Thank you. My name's Adam Backus. I am one of the guys that will help you get some money. One of the programs that I specialize in, it kind of contrasts the hard money. Where hard money is more collateral-based, value-based, and having some cash. The program I specialize in is it's a renovation loan, but it's more based around the person borrowing the money. So, of course, like Kelly suggested before, credit score is important. It doesn't have to be high credit, but you have to have some credit, okay? Income is a big one to determine how much you can borrow, okay? And then, of course, having some money to put down, because the way that the money gets lent, it is, the after repair value is very important with this program, but it's more so what you're spending, okay? So when we contrast the two, again, you're setting up, you're finding this house, you are figuring out what needs to be done to this house. You're going to get an idea based off of whatever research you do with an agent to figure out how much you think the value of the home is going to be. So as long as it looks like a wise investment, you can move forward. And what you're doing is you're getting the money to cover the total cost, and you're borrowing against the total cost. So you talked about the example. Can we go back to where we had the hard money? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Just so we can kind of compare the two. That's a great example. So in this case, where are we at here? Looking at these numbers here, what we would look at is the price and the repairs, okay? So we have $150,000 total cost. So we're going to lend based off that. And what we're looking at, for folks with strong credit, 15% down of that total cost. So if you do the math, let's see. 25, so we got 15, it's like 20 something. It's basically roughly about the same, okay? So you're going to need to come up with the cash for the down payment against the total cost. The value, as long as the house appraises for at least what you're spending, which, working with these girls, they're going to find you deals that are probably going to appraise for much more than what you're spending. So you're going to have to put down 15% of that total cost. There will be closing costs, but we're not going to see 6 points. We're not going to see 5 points. You might pay a point or two because of where the interest rate's at. Interest rates are probably going to be floating around the upper 5s right now. So you're going to get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, okay? That's going to be, we'll call it close to 6%. You're not going to have to pay all the extra points, okay? And you get the safety of that 30-year fixed mortgage. The hard money loans, it's a short-term loan. That's why the interest is so high. So you're paying front-loaded, you're paying that extra money up front because that's the only way that bank can make any money. They're not just giving it out for free. So for us, it's a little different. So it's kind of a contrast of, we're more concerned about the buyer, the borrower, okay, that they can repay the loan. Now, there isn't any penalties. You can certainly take this and sell, fix the house, sell it in the 6-month time period they talk about. So, but you have the added security that if something doesn't go perfect, you can't get the house listed quickly. Maybe the value, you had extra repairs that came into play, because real estate is not perfect, okay? So you'll have that security of a low rate that you could maybe turn it into a buy and hold, okay? So you have a little added safety. So again, we're more concerned about the customer, the borrower, that they have the money to repay the loan. It's a 30-year term, so that's how long you have to repay it. So again, you have that added safety, okay? Now, so for folks that are getting into this, it's a really good beginner product because again, you don't need as much cash where it compares to the hard money, and you don't have to have any experience. Some of these hard money lenders, they want to see that you've done this before, and if you have done it before, they might give you more money, right? But if you haven't, all this is based off credit. Your down payment's based off credit, and you just come up with the cash for the down payment, and it can come from other sources, just like they mentioned, where you have these retirement accounts, you have your own cash, maybe you can get somebody else that has money to go on with you to help fund this down payment. There's different alternatives. It's kind of a compare and contrast between the two. It's just one more option that's not very common, but again, the difference is that it's a residential mortgage, so you got to go through the underwriting hoops. That may take a little longer to get the loan, okay? But again, there's added security, so there's a lot of benefits there by going this route as opposed to hard money, okay? Does anybody have any questions about, got one in the back?
So with this loan, you can actually get it
Right. You might be thinking of like the 203K program, FHA. This is a Fannie Mae program, which you can do for investors, but it's a 1-unit, single-family property. That's it. Okay? So you're not looking at multi-unit, 2-unit, 3-unit, 4-unit. This is a single-family, 1-unit property. So you can for an investor, not owner-occupied.
And you say it was income-based also, right?
It's just like, yeah, it's just like any standard mortgage, credit, income, asset, those 3 things.
But Adam, you don't have the penalty for paying off early, correct?
Right, there's no prepayment penalties. It's, again, you can sell the property and pay that mortgage off at any time with no penalty.
What was the credit score?
We can go as low as a 620 middle credit score, and you have to have credit history, you know, because sometimes credit score dictates your history, but sometimes it doesn't. Some folks might have a lot of issues in the past, which is holding their score down. We're more focused on the last 12 to 24 months of your credit history, okay?
So if I did a short sale 2 years ago, you're gonna see that on my credit, is that
That could
gonna
hurt
give
you,
some
yes.
interest?
Because when you think about Fannie Mae's guidelines, if you come out of an event like that, there is a waiting period before you can get financing through them again, okay? Usually it's 2 years with 20% down, you know, so that's what we're looking at an investor aspect. You have to have at least a 2-year waiting period, and you have to be claiming a hardship potentially. So there are a lot more underwriting guidelines. We can talk one-on-one though.
Since this is a residential loan, does that mean that you would be taking this loan out as a personal, or would you be able to put this in as with the LLC?
Great question. That's one of the other differences. This is all in your name, okay? And even after you close, if you read your deed of trust, okay, it also says you can't change the manner of title or you could violate that deed of trust. So this would be something personally in your name, okay? Now, if you ultimately can find a way to pay the mortgage off, then you can change the title, okay? But it's going to be in your personal name, because again, it's all based off of the person borrowing the money.
One more question.
Just to speed up the process, we can still get pre-qualified, right?
Same thing. It's a lot similar. Instead of looking at comps for value, which you're going to do anyway, we can get paperwork to me where I can almost like have you ready to go. Okay, reviewing tax returns, reviewing pay stubs, seeing what you have, talking about it, planning everything, and get you out there, okay?
So guys, Adam will be in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out.
Do we have any questions when it's over?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll be here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So because we had the discussion regarding the type of loans that Adam can provide, we also have another special guest. She's actually here for 2 reasons. She's here, one, to talk to you about what her business is, Cure My Credit Score. That's pretty self-explanatory. But she is a fabulous individual. She's helped lots of people restore their credit. Ultimately, credit is not going to keep you from doing a flip, but in the long-term game, it's definitely something that you want to have is good credit. Then she's going to come back later and share her story with you because she's also a student. But first, we're going to focus on her business. So let me give them a couple minutes.
How you guys doing? Great. Good. Okay, so my name is Benita Walker, and I work with Cure My Credit Score. And what we do is we help you get your credit scores to a 700 or greater in a short amount of time. We do this by doing 2 things. We write the letters to get the negative items off of your credit report, and then we help you add positive credit or manage your existing credit at the same time, and that's how we're helping you get your scores to a 700 or greater. Now, I only have a couple of minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some quick free information, okay? And so what this is, I'm going to show you guys how you can jump your score 50 to 100 points in the matter of like 2 months, okay? This has to do with your credit cards. Credit cards are extremely important. Your credit score is a 3-digit number ranging from 350 to 850. It comes from a complex equation called FICO, and you really have to be a PhD in math to break down FICO, so it's broken down into 5 categories, okay? And the most important for you guys to understand is your credit cards, okay? So credit cards are 30% of your score. If you don't have credit cards, it's kind of like if you're in class and the teacher said the final exam is worth 30%. You can do well in every other part of class, but if you miss the final exam, the most you can get is a 70, is a C. So you have to have credit cards. If you don't have credit cards, you need to get one, okay? One way that you can get it, if you don't have any credit cards and your scores are kind of low, you can get a secured credit card. Basically, you give the bank $200 and they give you back a credit card worth $200, okay? So let's say I was to help you get a $1,000 credit card and you went and spent $500 on this card. you'd be at 50% utilization of this card. Anytime you're above 30%, it hurts your credit report. When you're below 30%, it helps your credit report. So you always want to keep your cards low. Now, I suggest you to keep your cards at 10%. When you're at 10%, two things happen. The credit card companies are like, okay, you know how to handle credit, you know how to manage this. And before you know it, what they do is, your scores will go up, of course, but what they do is they say, okay, I'm gonna trust them with a little bit more credit. So that $1,000 credit card will turn into a $2,000 credit card, a $3,000, $10,000 credit card. And you want $10,000 credit cards, especially if you're about to be doing this, right? All right, so you want your credit cards to build. You want your credit scores to build, and you want your credit cards to build. And the only way to do that is to keep your cards low. But you can't keep them too low. Anytime it's below 1%, it becomes neutral. It's kind of like you're not even using the card, so it don't give you any points. So if you had a $1,000 credit card, 1% would be $10. Don't pay your card below $10, okay? You want to keep a little bit on it. And if you have to pay it below $10, then you go ahead and you charge it back to 10%. 10% is $100. So you're trying to balance your cards at all times between 1% and 10%. A $1,000 credit card would be $10 to $100. Now a lot of people are like, okay, well I'm gonna spend it up to $500 and then I'll pay it down to $100 by the end of the month and I'll be good. Benita will be happy with me. Problem is, you never know when they're gonna report this information to the credit bureaus.
Right.
So, right. So they may report on the 17th of this month, on the 20th of next month, on the 30th the month later. So just because you're paying your bill at the end of the month doesn't mean that that's when they're reporting it to the credit bureaus. So you always keep it between 1% and 10%, okay? So today is my twins' first birthday party. They turned 1 on Thursday. Yes. So I am a mommy of twin boys and they're delicious. So I had to come. And I actually have to leave in like
Oh, you have to leave? So, okay, go ahead and share your story real quick.
Perfect. All right. So, I was in these seats. The last time. And I was like, I'm going. I'm doing this. I'm rocking with y'all. Okay? So they have been my coaches through this process. I've always wanted to rehab. You know, I've done my research. I watch all of Flip My Houses and Comedy Room. Okay, like I know how to do this, right? And so when I joined with them, I was like, okay. You know, they know how to do this, so they're gonna help me through this process. They have helped me so much. I am literally about to close on a house. Yes. On Monday of next week, okay? So this house, when I first went for it, it was like $230,000, and I was like, that's a deal. I'm rocking with it. I send it to them, and they're like, no. And I said, please. She's like, no. And she hangs up the phone on me, and I'm like, well, you don't understand, right? And so I'm like, okay. So then I go back to the lady who's selling the house, right? I've already made a relationship. I've talked to her for an hour. She knows about my boys. You know what I mean? Like she knows everything.
She promised to babysit for her.
Exactly. No, I'm not giving this lady it, right? And so she was like, okay, what can you buy the house for? So I called them back and I'm like, what can I get the house for that it will work? They're like, she's like, on the phone with me at like midnight. She's like, don't do less than 210. And I was like, they're not gonna take it. So I give them 210. And they're like, Benita, for you, I'll do 210. I was like, awesome. So then I listen to them more and I bring my people in, their people, that are my people now. And we find out that there's some more issues to the house that we didn't know about. And like $20,000 more. Wow. You know, like that part on the HTV channel that says, oh my God, you know, this is, okay, so $20,000 more. So I was like, all right, well, you know, I put my little tears on, I'm not gonna get this house. So I tell them, you know, I have some results now, and it's $20,000 more. And last night, I just said, I'm sorry, I can't take the house. And they called me back and they were like, if we drop the price $25,000 more.
Wow.
I said, what? Let's talk about that after the baby's birthday party. But yeah, yes. And if it wasn't for them, I would have got this house at $230 and been like rocking with it. But $45,000 less, that means I am able to actually win. So you need a team.
Wow.
I got a team. Y'all, okay, so yeah, y'all should get this team.
We didn't pay her. We didn't pay her. I call her to say this. It is what it is. It's real rehab talk. 100% real. Benita, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. My cards will be in the back. If you want a card, raise your hand. We can pass them out to you. But I do work well. They can tell you I work well.
Because I vetted her before she comes in our space, and I drilled her. And I mean, you gotta come over here and you gotta show me what you do. Because there's a whole lot of people that say they fix your credit and they take your money and they don't fix nothing. So no. They don't. Real talk. It's just what it is. But she came to my office. We sat down. We did credit check total. She had the little circle with the pie chart and all the percentages. I'm like, oh, I was off with you, and it just made sense. So right now she's vetted, guys. So it's all good, okay? Ain't nobody coming up in here on that.
Okay, guys, we're gonna keep it moving. We're a little behind schedule, and I want to get this information to you because this is one of the major highlights of today. Because one of the biggest concerns when we do our advanced training class and I ask, tell me what your biggest obstacle is, your biggest challenge. Estimating repairs is what most people say. They are afraid about estimating repairs for all the reasons that Benita said. And I'm actually going to show you a picture of what the problem is that she ran into in a little bit. But estimating repairs is one of the biggest concerns. And so we really believe in building a team, and I'm going to talk to you about that as one of your steps. But one of our key team members is here today because he's going to talk to you regarding estimated repairs. He's going to be very specific to this area of some major pitfalls that you can run into here in the DC metro area and going up into Baltimore. And he is an absolute authority in this area. He's going to share his experience with you, and he's going to show you some things that are going to blow your mind. So everybody, please welcome our friend, our partner, because we don't do a deal without him. He was with me at Benita's house on Friday, yesterday. We were all in the basement together, okay? And he is just the man when it comes to home inspections. We won't touch a deal without him. Cecilia, what do you call Kevin? The deal killer? Deal killer. He can kill a deal, but it's to protect you and to protect your interests, and that's what you want. So, Mr. Kevin Patience.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We got DJ with it. We don't do anything without them, and I'm telling you, it has been an amazing journey with these guys. They got our back, and we might be the gas, but they definitely the brakes. They will take the brakes on the deal real quick, and you won't just go no. Which with Benita yesterday, they're gonna talk to you guys about that as well. Okay, thanks, Ken. All right, here we go. We got 3 people.
I was in the wrong place this morning. I was in the other hotel.
Oh my God, really?
I had to call your daughter, so she got me short. But good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Kevin Patience. I am the owner of Metro Capital Home Inspection Services. The gentleman over here is DJ Thompson. He's one of my inspectors. He's doing an outstanding job. Actually, he did Benita's house yesterday. And when I got there, we both jumped around, got a little scared. But anyway, what happened at her house yesterday, overall the house was pretty decent. But the first place DJ took me to was the outside of the house in the back, and the roof is actually sagging in the back of the house, so we knew we had some issues there. So then he took me down to the basement area. We got to the basement. They had quite a few cracks in the basement rear foundation wall, where water was actually coming through the wall in numerous areas. And Kelly was there yesterday. So that's why Benita got a little bit scared, but once we got through the other parts of the house, everything else overall was pretty decent. It was just an older house. The biggest thing was just the foundation. So she's going to check into the issues on this foundation, and hopefully they can get it with maybe a little bit less than $20,000.
This is it.
Yeah, that's it.
Can everybody see that crack? Can't miss it, right?
Can you see all the water coming through? Yeah, and there was water all over the basement floor, and there was multiple cracks. On the right side of the wall, the corners on the rear, the left and right corners, and on the left side of the wall. There was water everywhere coming in. So I think that kind of spooked her. I guess it would have spooked me too. But like I said, once we got through the rest of the house, overall it was pretty decent. It's just an older house, needs some TLC. Our biggest concern was the foundation. Okay? So, go to,
Post rehab?
yes.
Oh, 2. Sorry.
So, what I did is I pulled up a couple of reports that I've done on rehab properties. Properties that were already rehabbed. Now, when we come back, when we do our rehab project, the job was already completed, totally completed. How many issues do you think, in your mind, that as a home inspector I should find, myself and DJ should find when we go to these houses? Very minimal. Very, very minimal. I would say less than 10 items and 10 small items.
Right.
Kelly, can you scroll down in this house? This is a house we did in Baltimore. You scroll down.
Scroll down.
Okay, scroll down. You start, yeah, so slower here. These are your major items. This particular house right here, where it says major concerns, they had, remember this house, termite damage, the one we did in Baltimore? Termite damage all over the place.
Oh my.
All over the place. You can actually see the wood where the termites were chewing it up in quite a few areas. And the thing is that whoever did the rehab didn't even cover it up, so we could easily see all of it. Easily see all of it. So it was a mess. So you got the major concerns and you have all your safety issues. We should not be having these type of issues on any rehab. The safety issues are, for the most part, electrical issues. So we should not be having these type of issues on any rehab properties. I can see this if this was a pre-rehab, but we talking about a post-rehab after the work was done. Okay? Now in the green, you see the green here? That's repairs that need to be done. Keep on scrolling. Keep on scrolling. Keep on scrolling. Keep on scrolling. Yeah, keep on scrolling.
Keep going.
This is a totally rehab house. Total rehab. Total rehab. So these are the things when we go to these houses and DJ and I go to these houses, this stuff really, really bothers me to no end. One of the biggest reasons that it bothers me is DJ told Benita yesterday, when we do these houses, I would say 80% of these houses we do are young black females, which irritates me. It irritates me with anybody, but when you got young females or single females and you selling them this type of home, knowing that you're going to have major issues later on down the road. So it is imperative that you guys get a license, get the team, your licensed contractors, your licensed home inspectors, license everybody, and make sure it's done right. Before you put the house on the market, I highly suggest that you get a home inspector, even if it's not me. I suggest me. But I highly suggest that you get a home inspector to go through. There's no way in the world that we should be finding these type of items at all. Let's go down to another one. Let's go out of here. I'm not even going to go through all of the pictures yet.
Oh, stop it. Bad job. Okay.
So guys, we're not going to be rehabbers like that, right?
Exactly. Okay, this is another house that we did. We can start scrolling. Kind of the same stuff. A lot of stuff that's in a totally rehab house. Total rehab. Everything, supposedly. Now the thing is, what a lot of these people do when they rehab these houses, they make them look beautiful. They look pretty. Everybody pretty it up. So when DJ first started working with me, he would walk in the house, oh man, this thing is going to be easy. I'm like, bro, please. So he got it now because you get new carpet, you get new paint on the walls, some new appliances, maybe a new heating and air conditioning unit. But you know what they neglect most of the time? Is the exterior of the house and the attic area. The attic area, the crawl space areas. Those are the areas that you all, for the most part, if you was a buyer, that you're not going to go into. Especially the attic areas. Let's scroll down here. I think it's in roof. The next one down. This is the roof. Look at this. You got a sock laying on the roof. with the shingle missing right at the side. You got sags in the roof right here. We can clearly see the sags in the roof. Now this right here, that's actually mold. That's actually mold that's in the attic area. So which tells me that whoever had this house that did the work never even stepped foot in that attic area. Never stepped foot in the attic area. This is where we find mold, we find open electrical wires, that's how we know we got roof leaks. That's exactly where we go. You look from the outside, it might look fine, but when you get inside the attic, that's when you start finding moisture stains. You just scroll down some, I think you have some pictures in here. That's all of the mold. There's mold all over, everywhere. Okay? So the thing is, when your guys go out there, make sure they do what they're supposed to do. But it's important for you to have quality control. You have to go out there and check these guys. You have to have somebody, whoever's doing the work, they should have some type of, I don't know if y'all use a construction manager, a budget manager, that somebody knows what they're doing. Let somebody go out there that knows what they're doing, so they can find these issues before an anal person like me show up. Because once I show up, the bottom line for me, I have all loyalty to the buyer, period. And like they say, some people say that we're deal killers. No, the house kills the deal. We don't kill the deal. It ain't us. It's my job and it's DJ's job to tell the story of the house. Whatever that story it is, it is. And that's the bottom line. If the deals fall through, it falls through. But I cannot go home at night and sleep knowing that I've seen some things and did not document it. And on top of that, I get my butt sued. So I'm not going through all of that. So the biggest thing, I used to go through a whole lot of stuff when I come to these here, but it's things just like this that you just really need to see for yourself. Now I don't want some of you all that's in this class that do a rehab, and then the buyer hires me to come out, and I'm like, okay, I know that they was in this class, so they know better. They know better than doing these type of jobs. Okay? And let's go out of there. I'm gonna go to probably be willing.
1, 2, or 3?
Either one of them. Probably. Okay. Just want to go over a few things with water piping inside the houses and electrical panels. This gray pipe here, this is called polybutylene water piping. This pipe has a history of failure, particularly at these joints where these fittings are. So, if you go and look at a house, if it has the polybutylene piping in it, you should know in your mind right off the back it needs to be replaced. Okay? Because it's going to come up in the inspection, for sure. So I highly recommend that you definitely replace it all if you see it. Okay? Go to, oh no, we don't. Oh, make us replace it there. I'm going to go out of that angle pictures. Inspection. Yeah, you can start right there. Let's do a few of them. And we talked about cracks in foundation walls. Oh, you go back one. This particular house right here, I can actually stick my hand all the way through the crack. And we can see the cars in the street, actually. Oh. You can see the cars in the street. That's how bad it was. Wow. And that's not good. So you know if you can see the cars in the street, so you know water's coming in. Yeah. And on top of that, you know you've got structural issues where the house will start settling and moving. On top of that, and then you start seeing cracks everywhere. Okay? Electrical panels. Make sure you have a good electrician. Now, small things, yeah, that's good right there, Kelly. See these two white wires right here? Those are your neutral wires that go to a neutral bus. In the old days, you can put two wires to one hole, to one bus. Now they have to be separated. So it's simple stuff like that that an electrician could go in and see for himself. This particular house will probably have 5 or 6 of them in the one panel, the one electrical panel. So they definitely need to be separated because it's a safety issue. It's called double taps, absolutely. Called double taps. Okay. All right, and then right here, who's the youngest one in here? I bet you don't know what this is. Well, some of us old heads probably know what it is. But DJ, he didn't know what it was either, so you can go back to a fuse box. There you go. Right there. Okay? That's old school. What did they get? So back in the day, my dad, I'm from Philadelphia, so my dad used to send us to the basement all the time. When the lights go out, you take them jokes, you screw them out, you put a new one in, put a penny in there or something, screw them back in, try to keep some power. That's what we had to do back then. If you see these type of panels, which is a fuse box panels, they have to be replaced. You cannot leave those things in the house. Today, after rehabs, we see these kind of things in the house. We see this in the house sometimes. We're talking about these things from the 40s and 50s. So they definitely need to be replaced. Okay. This is an attic area. Remember we were just talking about electrical wires in the attic area. This is what we see on a regular basis. We see it all the time, which is a fire waiting to happen. For sure. Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This type of electrical panel, it says Federal Pacific Stab Lock electrical panel. If you see one of these in any of the houses, it needs to be replaced. What happens with this type of electrical panel, if the circuit breakers trip, sometimes they only trip halfway. If they trip halfway, you still got juice that's going through those lines, which can actually start a fire or shock somebody. So if you see one of these, and the other way you can tell is sometimes if the label is gone, you see these are the circuit breakers, you see all those red tips on the circuit breakers? If you see those red tips on the circuit breakers, that's Federal Pacific. So they need to be replaced. Okay. Furnace units, this is a newer furnace unit, but did y'all go over this stuff as far as ages?
We haven't.
Okay. Heating units, air conditioning units, things of that nature, once they get into about 15 years, they kind of start going downhill after that. So I do recommend, if it's, y'all do 10 years, I think?
Between 10 and 15, we have it assessed, but between 10 and, it's usually between 10 and 15.
Yeah, okay. Now I will say, if it's over 15 years, I do recommend you replace it. If you don't, make sure you get an HVAC technician to come in and look at those items, service them, just to make sure they're in good order. Because if they're not, once we go, we're going to find out they're in good order anyway.
And you're going to have to replace it anyway, guys.
You're going to have to replace it anyway. Okay, go ahead next. This here, anybody know what this is? This type of outlet.
Ground fault.
Yeah, she's pretty close. Yeah, GFCI electrical outlets, ground fault circuit interrupters. These type of electrical outlets should be anywhere within 6 feet of water. So any outlets on the exterior of your house, any outlets in your garage areas because the cars are coming in and out, any outlets around the kitchen countertops because of water, and any outlets in your bathrooms. And where the sump pump is also. The purpose of the GFCIs is if you have water on your hands, if you plug something up before it shuts off first. That's the purpose of the GFCI. Okay? I would say half of the rehabs don't have them. At least half of the rehabs that we do don't have them at. So we've got to come in, document that we don't have the GFCIs. We can tell they haven't been to this class. That's for sure. These kind of things should not be going on in any rehabs that we do. Okay? This is an attic area with a roof. You can actually see the moisture stains in dark areas. That's all moisture. That's all moisture. We can tell right off the bat that the roof is leaking. Go to the next one. See the moisture, the dark areas? That's mold and some moisture. That's mold from one of Cecilia's old houses when I first started working.
Before I bought it.
Yes, it did.
That was the way I got it when I bought it. Okay, but mold is good because
Mold is good.
Right?
Don't be scared of it. Just fix it.
Just fix it. Just fix it. Yeah. And that house had the most mold that I've ever seen. That's the one in the basement. We had it all the walls and ceilings everywhere. And she did an outstanding. When I came back to the house. So once she finished, she did an outstanding. I couldn't believe it was the same house when I came back. Outstanding job.
Ooh, wow.
Okay. This the bathroom, that same house.
So guys, I think I got the house like $75,000 in Hyattsville, 20785 for any of the realtors in here. So don't say you ain't gonna do no rehab in Capitol Heights. That's where the money is. Because I ain't saying you gotta live there, but somebody wanna live there. That house sold for 206. You do the math. Do the math. Just saying, people. Open doors sometimes.
Okay, that's okay. A few other things. This is a sprinkler head. This is called an Omega sprinkler head. This type of sprinkler head has a recall on it. Okay, now, if you go to a house, I don't know if you guys can see in the back, it has 3 discs at the bottom of it. If you see those type of sprinkler heads, they need to be replaced. The reason that they need to be replaced, some areas of the country where they have fires, like 30% of these did not open up. So that's why they did a recall on them, and they definitely should be replaced. I think Cecilia has some few of her properties, but they ran like 65.
$65 a head. So if you got
$65 a head.
20 heads, just go ahead and add it up.
Yes. And we pretty much count, when we count everyone in the house,
Yep.
so you guys have some idea what's going to cost you to replace it. Okay? And we talked about